let's see if this is working. All right, you're getting my audio, so that's good. Hi, Danny. All right, now I'm gonna send out the text that you all requested. Just da-da-da. Boom. And there we go. That is sent. All right, good. Audio sounds good. Perfect. All right. Two of you watching. Well, that's you and me, Danny. Those are the two that are watching because I've got it on my phone to follow the chat. And since I just sent out the text, I'll wait just a second before I actually jump into stuff. So I'll take that time to open up a couple of tabs on my computer so that I can then share those with you guys. Oh, interesting. Hi, Danny. Loading. Trying to open the tab on ESPN for this, so I can, give my analysis, #analysis, right, Danny? You'll also have to forgive my hair for being crazy. Yeah, I know the hair is red. Hi, Andrew. I know my hair is red and that is unforgivable, but wow, ESPN does not want to load on my computer right now. Let me see if I can. I'm just gonna go off of my phone for this one. Because ESPN is being stupid on my computer. Alright. Well, since ESPN's being stupid, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Because reasons, I wasn't able to get my usual script again, so this time going just kind of rolling with it. Comcast has been having issues lately. Well, you would be the guy that knows. Well, it's slowly coming up now, but until it's fully up, I'll just use my. Ooh. Oh, I think it's here. Boom. It's slowly coming up, but until it fully comes up, I'll just have to go with my phone. Sorry, guys. Oh, wait, here it comes. There we go. Now it's loading. Now it's loaded. There we go. Go to the scoreboard. And the scoreboard's loading. Ooh, who else is here now? If you're here, go ahead and sound off in the chat. Sorry, this is getting a little, sorry this is starting up a little slow, but, welcome to the world of technology, right? It's like I was telling Danny earlier today, I'm not so good with the technology. Very good at research, very good at that kind of stuff. I mean, my degree is in old things, but technology, not so much. No, that's not what I wanted. Ooh, we got 5 people. Who all is here, guys? Go ahead and sound off if you're here. Well, oh wait, here we are. Yeah, welcome to the fun of watching a guy who is not tech savvy. this is why I miss recording live with Danny, because he is much better at this kind of stuff than I am. 57's league scoreboard for week 9. There it is. Quick box score. Boom. Now it's coming up. There we go. Boom. Which means I can go like this. Can go like that. That's not what I meant to do. This is what I meant to do. Wearing my Seahawks jersey since they won last night. I'm very happy about that. Boom. There we go. How does that look for everybody? Looking good? All right. There we go. All right, so in our recap for last week, start off with Brad at Kyle. Brad coming away with the win here, just barely. Although, I can't help but wonder if Kyle had realized that Kelvin Benjamin was not going to play this week, if Kyle would have won by switching him out for Rashard Matthews, who was the only other one that he could have started. Let's take a look at Brad's side. 20.1 points from Cam Newton. So right play there over Derek Carr. So nice play there. Brad. Mark Ingram only getting 7.9 points. Kind of surprising there. Alvin Kamara really doing fantastic there in New Orleans. Lamar Miller only 9.1 points against Indy. Yeah, thanks, Danny. Looking good except the ginger in the corner. Yeah, that's just kind of the way it is. So Lamar Miller, I expected him to do a lot more against Indy, but with the game kind of getting away from the Texans, DeAndre Hopkins, who I expected to do a little less, actually did more. I expected there to be a lot more of Lamar Miller because I expected the Texans to get ahead early and stay ahead and just try and run it out. And they got behind and ended up losing that one. So what happened to your Texans there, Brad? I mean, can't really talk because my Seahawks lost last week, so there is that. Ooh. Ooh. Thank you for the tip, Danny. So there you go. That's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. That zooms us in there. Perfect. So DeAndre Hopkins also did really well because they were playing from behind. DeAndre Hopkins not hurt that much by Tom Savage, as I was saying last week. DeAndre Hopkins did do really good the one week that Tom Savage was the starter. He got 11-point-something points. So wasn't too worried about DeAndre Hopkins. It is Will Fuller that I'm a little worried about with the Texans with no more Deshaun Watson. Jarvis Landry doing good against Oakland. Jarvis Landry is just a target monster. If we were in PPR, he would be definitely a starter, but still with what we do, with the scoring that we have with standard, Jarvis Landry still great scorer there. Adrian Peterson did exactly what we would have expected against San Francisco, 17.7 points. The Cardinals got ahead, obviously. They stayed ahead. They ran the ball. San Francisco, very generous run defense. So liking that there. The Lions defense did pretty good against Green Bay because Green Bay looks terrible with no Aaron Rodgers. Will Lutz decent against Tampa Bay. You would have hoped to get more. But let's see what was scored there. It's because it was 3. He missed a field goal, so that's minus a point there. 3 extra points were made. So it's just the thing with kickers. I'll say this right here: you're not looking for the kicker on the team that's gonna score touchdowns. You're looking for the kicker on a team against a defense that will get you to the red zone, but not let you get the touchdown to make you kick the field goal. You want the kicker that kicks the field goals, not the kicker that kicks the PATs. On the bench, not really anyone of note here. Jeremy Maclin did pretty good against Tennessee, and he's one that maybe would have switched out for Lamar Miller, move Lamar Miller up, Mark Ingram down and out, but I mean, no one would have done that before the matchup. So not really looking at this and going, Brad, what are you doing here? You messed up big time. So let's move over to Kyle's side of the board. There we go. My my scroller was getting very touchy there for a second. Marcus Mariota did decent against Baltimore. Baltimore is a tough defense to go up against, so the 15.3 there. Not too much of a surprise. I do expect Mariota to continue to do better. Doug Martin, I'm really actually not surprised by this 0.7 points for Doug Martin. New Orleans, tough defense, and I did expect Tampa to be playing from behind, which they were, which means not a whole lot of running. Jay Ajayi, the first running back this season, I'll slide this over there. Jay Ajayi is the first running back this season to score a touchdown on the Denver Broncos. How do you feel about that, Andrew? Getting him 13.7 points. Tyreek Hill did nicely against Dallas. Tyreek Hill, solid play. Kelvin Benjamin was traded to Buffalo on Tuesday and then played the Jets on Thursday. I'm not surprised that 0 points there. He didn't play. He was a healthy scratch just because he doesn't know the playbook. I do expect him to come in this week, and I actually do expect him to do pretty good. Alshon Jeffrey, what happened? So, what happened to ground control and the no-fly zone this week, Andrew? Go ahead and tell me what you think about that in the chat, because apparently there was flying going on and the ground was not controlled, as you can see by that 51-23. Calling it right here, right now. Denver not going to the playoffs this year. The Colts defense, surprisingly good against Houston. Was not expecting that. And Matt Prater, Detroit, he's just a great kicker. That is a team that does not know how to get into the end zone. On the bench, Rashard Matthews is really the only one I would look at. I like starting Prater over Lambeau. Lambeau's really good too, though. Cincy, good defense. But 13-12, he missed out on a point. That wasn't the difference maker. This one right here was Rashard Matthews, 13 points. I'm just going to assume that Kyle didn't get the information that Kelvin Benjamin wasn't playing, because I do like Kelvin Benjamin for Buffalo, just not this past week. Yep, you should have known it was coming, Andrew. And when you have no offensive help at all, then you're going to lose the defense eventually. It's true. It's true. That I think is the biggest problem, because your defense is feeling like the only way they can win is if they hold the opposing team's offense to like 14 points, to just hope that two Broncos players fall into the end zone, which just didn't happen. Too far. A little too close. There we go. Just waiting for the other show to fall in Saxonville. Danny and Andrew. Russell Wilson, 23.6 points against Washington. Nice showing there. In a loss. I mean, The big story in that one was Blair flippin' Walsh. The man could not hit a field goal to save his life. I actually saw on my Facebook feed a picture of a car that, in an attempt to pull into its driveway, had actually somehow crashed into the second floor of this house. I don't know how it happened, but that's what happened. And the caption was Blair Walsh trying to go home after the Seahawks Redskins game. I thought that was rather apropos. So that was funny because he missed 3 field goals. Had he made those 3 field goals, this score would have been very different. Very, very different. That's really nothing that Washington did. It's all us not being able to kick a field goal. But anyways, I digress. Kareem Hunt at Dallas, only 6.1 points. It's the second time he's been held to less than 100 yards from scrimmage. But Dallas has a decent run defense. It's been better since they got torched by... since the one time that they got torched by Todd Gurley, they've been better. It's been something they've been working on, and they looked better. Kareem Hunt is on a bye this week. I do expect him to do better going forward. LeGarrette Blount, now that J.J. is there, I don't expect Blount to really do anything anymore for Philadelphia. Devontae Adams at Detroit, with no more Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams is no longer a must start. Yeah, but you're not a Seahawks fan, Christian, but it's true. You take the wins where you can get them, right? As I was saying, Devontae Adams, now that there is no more Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay for this year, nobody in Green Bay is a must start. It's all matchup dependent. Only start wide receivers in Green Bay against terrible pass defenses. Michael Thomas getting 6.5 against Tampa Bay. Not really surprised there. New Orleans got ahead early. They stayed ahead by going with Alvin Kamara. Christian McCaffrey now did exactly what I expected him to do with no more Kelvin Benjamin. No more Kelvin Benjamin means more passes to be had, and Christian McCaffrey is a favorite there. The Jaguars, 14 points against Cincy. Jaguars, best defense, I believe. Yeah, rank number 1. There it is. So they are a set it and forget it. Giorgio Tavecchio finally had another good game. He's been struggling a little bit. 2, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Hasn't really had a great game since the opening week, and decent game in week 2. But he's finally got a little back on track there. Yep, Graham and Baldwin this week. We'll get there. On the bench, buys, several buys. Yeah, not starting him. Nice points there. Joe Mixon is the only one there. I actually, personally, Danny, would have started Joe Mixon over LeGarrette Blount, but that's just because Jacksonville has a great secondary, and so people attack them by running the ball, and Joe Mixon, best runner with Cincinnati. But I also didn't hate the move that you made. But that's just me. Moving over to Andrew's side. In case I didn't say it, Danny won 85.6 to 76.3. Alex Smith, 18.4 points against Dallas. Well done not playing Kirk Cousins against Seattle. C.J. Anderson, injured against a stout Philly front. No surprise there. Mike Evans got into a fight. He's suspended, playing from behind. I actually expected him to do more, but that New Orleans defense is just absolutely solid. Robbie Anderson did quite well there. Paul Richardson, he did good, but you would have wanted him to get into the end zone there for you, Andrew. And like Danny said, go with the one who falls into the end zone, and it was Anderson. So, nice call to start both of them. Chris Ivory was a nice start with no Leonard Fournette, 10.4 points. The Rams, good points. And Greg Zuerlein, I believe, is the number 1 kicker, yes? In our league. Yep, there he is, number 1. So, nice pick there. Just keep rolling with those two. On the bench, no one really of note. Cooper Kupp didn't do much. Butker, you have Zuerlein, no need for Butker. Devontae Parker is the only one that is a real standout there. Is a real standout there. But I wouldn't have started Parker over anyone that you did start. So, that, as I scroll the wrong way and just zoom you right in on the face of Jeremy Clarkson. By the way, Andrew, December 8th is when the next Grand Tour season starts. James at Bobby. This one was so close. I was pulling for James. I really was. I was really pulling for James. But problems there with quarterback. I mean, 18 points for Brent Hundley isn't terrible. Kenyon Drake did do nicely. Doug Baldwin, a beast, as Dougie is. Jordy Nelson, again, like I said, with Brent Hundley at the quarterback position, Green Bay wide receivers are matchup dependent, and Detroit not a good matchup for receivers. Demaryius Thomas actually had a nice game, getting injured in the process though, so we'll see if he plays this week. Jimmy Graham, little bit of trouble there. Only 5.9 points, which isn't great. 59 yards. But he's definitely seeing you should watch it. It's funny. Andrew, speaking of Grand Tour. But Jimmy Graham's still getting love. He's a favorite end zone target for Russell Wilson. The Texans defense against Indy did well as I expected, even though they lost. And Suckup, not terrible there. On the bench, the Ravens defense against Tennessee, I liked the Texans at Indy, and that was right. I did not like Sammy Watkins against the Giants, but he was used. And I do like Golden Tate. I actually like him for the rest of the year. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because I promised my wife I'd try and keep it short. So I'm just going to hit highlights. Tyrod Taylor, nice. Carlos Hyde, nice. No surprise there, no surprise. The only one that stands out to me is Amir Abdullah actually doing 9.7, about what you'd want from your flex. Matt Stafford is a definite solid quarterback. So Bobby has two really solid quarterbacks there. And then Zach Ertz not playing. I do expect him to be back in the lineup for Bobby soon. Bobby comes away with the win there, in case I forgot to mention that. Yep, Danny, been there. There we go. Now we come to Christian at Bischoff, with Christian getting his first win. Well done, Christian. Let's show the bench here. Dak Prescott, nice numbers there. Really surprised at the low numbers there. I expected LaShawn McCoy to do more, but as they lost, run game, he was bottled up. Run game didn't happen. Ted Ginn, I must say I was correct that Ted Ginn would do well, but sorry, Christian. I just did not expect T.Y. Hilton to do that. I mean, looking at T.Y. Hilton, that's more points than his past 4 games. Or is that 5? Is that more points than, so 3, 4, 7, 10. Yeah, that's more points than his past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games combined, and that includes a 20-point game. So, just Are you telling me to check the trade, Danny, or are you telling someone else to check their trade? So that fantastic showing there. Buck Allen, I do like Buck Allen. So keep him rolling. And Matt Ryan actually finally had a good game. Those are all the standout. Broncos defense 0 against Philly. They are lucky that they only had 0 and not negatives. And yes, the win for Christian comes because Blair Walsh couldn't hit a field goal, and it didn't help, and it didn't hurt, I should say, that Dallas was able to throttle the Chiefs without the Chiefs doing too much on defense. The other standouts here, Rob Kelly against Seattle getting 13.8. That's just because he falls into the end zone twice. Jared Goff, nice points. He is looking really good. Devontae Freeman having a bit of trouble this year, but I do expect that to level out. On the bench, Derrick Henry getting 9.6 is really the only standout there. He is well liked in Tennessee, and it can't be comfortable for DeMarco Murray. Looking at that. Is the U for Christian or for me, Danny? Because I have looked at your trade and I'm considering it. I am considering it. So then I lost to Taylor because I was an idiot, and yeah. I was an idiot. Let's just say that. Carson Wentz doing nice against Denver. Todd Gurley doing nice against the Giants. No surprises there. Julio Jones finally having a nice game. Marvin Jones, solid wide receiver 1. Definite wide receiver 1. I mean, the past few games that he's played, for 3 straight games against New Orleans and Pittsburgh that are both good pass defenses, he still put up nice points, so I like that. As far as the bench goes, Marshawn Lynch, I wasn't expecting that. Make a decision on your trade. I'm still thinking about it. I haven't decided yet. Haven't decided. It is tempting. It is tempting. But I am leaning towards no on the trade there. I'm leaning towards no just because I do like Zeke for next year. On my side, Drew Brees did nice. Zeke, nice, 15.3 now that he is suspended. Alvin Kamara, very nice there. What screwed me over was A.J. Green being an idiot and getting himself ejected from the game, and Mohamed Sanu getting 8.3 points on my bench. Travis Kelce did nice, though. Evan Ingram, for a league where we're not required to have tight ends, having 2 is kind of funny, but both of them 13 points, 13 and 13.3. Can't argue with that. I really thought that Fairbairn, however you pronounce his name. My loss. I will tell you this, Danny. I would be more interested in the trade if I was given someone that would help me more this year, plus the swapping of the 2 guys that are out. Just so you're all up to speed, Danny's offered me David Johnson plus another running back this year for my Ezekiel Elliott. So essentially swapping who our keepers would be for the year. So that is that as far as everything that I'm seeing. Man, I keep doing that, going the wrong way. As far as everything that I am seeing there. So let's jump right in to some pick'em. There we go. schedule. All right, as I said last night, I did pick Seattle to win over Arizona, which they did, but unfortunately they lost Richard Sherman for the year with a ruptured Achilles, which that is just killer. I mean, how more killer can you get than losing Richard Sherman, who has never missed a game in his NFL career? So that is just... that's just rough. So I took Seattle there. I haven't written these down yet for me. So I will be doing that as I go. Going down the line, give me, for New Orleans at Buffalo, give me the Saints. Green Bay at Chicago, give me the Bears. Green Bay just looks inept, and the Bears are actually decent. Cleveland at Detroit, give me the Lions. Bengals at Tennessee, give me the Titans, actually. They've got some weapons back. Cincy struggling a little bit. Give me the Titans. Steelers at Colts, give me the Steelers. Jets at Bucks, give me the Jets, actually. The Jets looking quite good. Vikings at Washington. Even though Washington pulled off the nice upset against Seattle, give me the Vikings. I just realized I'm not showing you here. Los Angeles Chargers at Jacksonville, give me the Jags. Texans at Rams, give me the Rams. Although I would be very, very happy if the Rams lost, because then my Seahawks would move up to first place in the NFC West because they own the tiebreaker over the Rams. We would both be 6-3, and we would own the tiebreaker. So, I'm really pulling for your Texans there, Brad. Cowboys at Falcons. Give me the Cowboys. Even with no Zeke, give me the Cowboys. Actually, that's a tough one. No, give me the Cowboys. Even with no Zeke, I think the Cowboys will get it done here. The Atlanta has just really struggled. Devontae Freeman has struggled. Julio Jones battling a bit of an injury. Give me the Cowboys. Giants at San Francisco. Give me the Giants. They should have Janoris Jenkins back, and San Francisco just has nothing. They have Carlos Hyde. That's it. There's no one else. Give me the Giants. New England at Denver. Give me the Patriots. I think the Broncos' losing streak continues, and the Patriots are going to win that one, especially coming off of a bye. Give me the Pats. Then Monday Night Football, which, there we go. Slide back up. Which really isn't that exciting. Miami at Carolina. Give me the Panthers in that one. So, quick update for Pick'em. With the scores that were achieved last week with Danny and I on our guesses, I have 71 correct picks. Danny is currently sitting at 75 correct picks. So still 4 picks ahead of me. So let's go ahead and pop back over to fantasy. Yes, while this is loading, yes, Andrew. Osweiler is Brady's kryptonite in the one game that they've played against each other. So not really expecting that to repeat itself. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Bring that back over to there. Go to the scoreboard. So while this is loading itself, if any of you, when I get to your matchup, if any of you watching have a question that you would like me to answer, about start, sit, whatever. I obviously won't have the time to do my normal research, but I will try and answer it. No, not scoring great. I want this. No. It's not what I wanted. I want the quick box score. There we go. Ooh. Just received a trade alert from Christian. I'll have to go look at that in a moment. All right, here are our matchups for this week. Starting with Andrew at Bobby. And with what's happened so far, things do not look good for you, Andrew. You're projected at 89.1. Bobby is projected at 101.8. Let's zoom in here and see what we think. All right. On Andrew's side of the ball, Big Ben at Indy. I do like that, actually. I do like that. Leonard Fournette, like that. Interesting. You got your two running backs battling each other, so you want that to be a high-scoring run game. Which I actually like both running backs there. Leonard Fournette against the generous Chargers. Melvin Gordon against Jacksonville that has the great secondary, so you attack them on the ground. I do like the possibilities there. Temper expectations for Melvin Gordon. He won't do his normal Melvin Gordon thing, but he will be good. I think he'll get 10 points. About like Joe Mixon last week. Robbie Anderson, I do really like that against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a generous pass defense. Paul Richardson, 4.3. Tough against the Arizona secondary. They do have a really great secondary. It was the Dougie story. It was the Jimmy story. If you all didn't see, if you didn't watch the game, at least go back and watch Russell Wilson's pass as he's scrambling and finds Doug Baldwin, who wasn't even supposed to be running a route, just saw the play break up, so he went downfield to see if he could get open. He did, catches the ball, and then catches a tall jump ball, really just jumps up for it. It was great. Go watch it. And then really leaning heavily on the Rams there, aren't you? Cooper Kupp, defense, kicker. Out of those three, the kicker I like the best, then Cooper Kupp. But I still like the defense if Houston continues to have its struggles. On your bench, let's see. You've got suspended against a tough defense, out for injury, bye week, injured, not starting. Yeah, there's not really much you can do to help your starting lineup. But watch, this is the week that Kirk Cousins goes crazy and exposes one blown coverage at Minnesota. Matt Stafford at home against Cleveland for Bobby. Love that. Le'Veon Bell against Indianapolis. Love Carlos Hyde. I actually like that against the Giants, but I don't love it. Deshaun Jackson, I like it against the Jets. I don't love it. Robert Woods, it'll be interesting to see because Bobby's playing Robert Woods. Andrew's playing Cooper Kupp. Who gets the touchdown this week? I actually hate Amir Abdullah against Cleveland. Cleveland, actually a solid run defense. I've said it before. The way you attack Cleveland is in the air with Matt Stafford and Amir Abdullah, who struggles against Cleveland, who's good against the run. Don't like that. That's a hate this week. Seahawks, nice 11 points against Arizona. Although for Bobby, he might want to look at getting a different kicker because Matt Bryant struggling with injury. On the bench, bye week, injured reserve, bye week, not loving the matchup, bye week, against a solid defense. Yeah, nothing really I would change for either of you. I'm going to call this one in favor of Bobby. Bobby's going to win and move to 10-0, but Don't worry, everybody. It will be next week that I will beat and defeat Bobby. So let's move on to me at Bischoff. Oh, man. Losing Zeke was just rough for me. We'll start on my side of the ball. So the projected are currently, I'm 5 games behind. Basically, I have to win out to even make the playoffs. My chances aren't great. But Bischoff is in the same position. If I can win this one against Bischoff, then I move up with a better chance and almost virtually eliminate Bischoff. So here's what I'm actually going to start on Bischoff's side of the ball, because I'm just hoping that he forgets that he doesn't have a kicker and that his bench is on a bye. Stefon Diggs, you guys have to see this. Here we go. Stefon Diggs. Oh, is it not going to show it here? Okay, it's not showing it there. Go onto your apps. Look at why he is questionable. He is questionable because he was limited in practice for, get this, a toothache. Yeah, Stefon Diggs limited for a toothache. Tom Brady, I do like against Denver. I mean, it's the no-fly zone, but apparently not anymore. Look at what Carson Wentz did, and Brady versus Wentz. Yeah, Brady's the better. Devontae Freeman, a decent Dallas defense. I expect Freeman to struggle a little bit. Aaron Jones against a actually surprisingly good Chicago defense. Don't love that. I have to start Aaron Jones in another league. But Ty Montgomery ate into Aaron Jones. It's running back by committee there against a good defense. Don't love that. If Stefon Diggs can't get his toothache fixed, then don't love that. Dez Bryant, he says he'll play, but he is dealing with an ankle injury, so don't love that. Derrick Henry against Cincinnati. I actually like that. I hope that he keeps that. I hope that he keeps that. But knowing my luck, Bischoff will remember. Oh! Danny, why have we not been using this? Duh. There we go. We should all be... Dude, toothaches ain't no joke. Yeah, it's true, but it shouldn't affect your hands. On the bench, Jason Witten... Don't love that. Gotskowski against Denver. I actually really like that, which is why I'm hoping that he forgets to plug that in. Rob Kelly against Minnesota. Don't love. I do like Jermaine Kearse. Don't love that. I actually really like Goff against Houston, and I really like the Panthers' defense against Miami, which is why I'm really hoping that he forgets to switch that. But knowing my luck, he won't forget. On my side of the ball, Drew Brees against Buffalo, kind of like that, don't love it. Alvin Kamara, I do love that. Bilal Powell, I do like that one with Matt Forte officially out. Love me some AB. AJ Green, I do expect to do nicely. Evan Ingram against San Francisco, I do expect Evan Ingram to do nicely. The Saints defense I like. Kaim Fairbairn, I hope will do something against LA. On the bench, Zeke suspended, Luck out, bye week. McFadden, Lockett didn't do much. Sanu is really the only one that I'm looking at as maybe possibly biting me in the butt again. And I really have to start speeding things up. If this would cooperate with me. Come on. Moving on to Kyle at Taylor. Come on. Let's see. Kyle is projected at 70.9. 92.2 for Taylor. Let's take a look at who they've got. In the starting lineup for Kyle, he's got Marcus Mariota at Cincy. I like it. Doug Martin at New York Jets. I actually don't like it. The Jets are a sneaky good defense. Rashard Matthews, I like. Kenny Golladay, don't like against Cleveland. just because it's the Marvin Jones and the Golden Tate show there. Don't like Kelvin Benjamin against a good New Orleans secondary. Latavius Murray against Washington, I do like a little bit. I like McKinnon more there. I do like the Vikings D, and I really like Matt Prater. And then on the bench, we've got bye week, injured, bye week. Don't hate that. Don't love it more than anything else you've got. I actually might like Lambeau a little more than Prater. And then Colts, don't love that. So nothing much I would change there. On Taylor's side of the ball, Case Keenum, I don't think he really has anyone else. Yeah, Carson Wentz is on a bye. So throwing in Case Keenum there. Yeah, I saw that you've bombarded me now with trades. I will take a look at them as soon as I am done here. Case Keenum, don't love it, but I mean it's the only guy he's got. Todd Gurley at Houston, I actually really like that because it's Todd Gurley. Adam Thielen, I like Julio Jones. If he can be healthy, I don't hate it. I do like Gronk against Denver. Marvin Jones against Cleveland, I love that. Like I said, Cleveland good against the run. Where are you going to hit him? The pass. The Lions, terrible at the run. What are they going to do? They're going to pass. Marvin Jones in a team that likes to pass against Cleveland that is a team that's good against the run, so you have to pass. This is a match made in heaven. Love Marvin Jones there. Definitely, I would put him as my wide receiver 1, not a flex here. Love the Steelers' defense against Indy. And I like the kicker situation there. I agree with benching Fitzgerald because you don't expect him to get 113 yards against Seattle. So, well done there. Bye week, yeah, not really doing much anymore. Bye week. I do like Devin Funchess. With no more Kelvin Benjamin, I really like Devin Funchess. I actually probably like him more than Adam Thielen. So if I were to give a suggestion to Taylor, I would tell Taylor to put in Funchess. And I'm going to vote Taylor on that one. No, that's not what I want. 2 more here. I'm going to blast through this really quick. I'm going to try and we'll see how well this works, but I'm going to try and finish this up in 5 minutes. That is my goal. We'll see how well that works out. We have Christian projected at 93.8 and James at 85.8. Christian. Let's see, looking at Christian's side of the ball. We have Dak Prescott against Atlanta. I like it. Don't love LaShawn McCoy against New Orleans. New Orleans, great defense, both pass and run. And I expect the Bills to get behind, so they'll have to abandon the run. I do like Jordan Howard against Green Bay. Ted Ginn, I like against Buffalo. I don't like T.Y. Hilton against Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh has a decent pass defense, and T.Y. Hilton, I think last week was a fluke. I do love Jerick McKinnon against Washington. I actually really like the Bears' defense against Green Bay. And I actually like Gould against the Giants. On the bench, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with him on the bench. I agree with that on the bench. Bye week, agree. So, even though there are some guys that I don't exactly love in your starting lineup, there's no one else that I'm going to put in. For James, with his quarterback being Brent Hundley and Jimmy Garoppolo, he is starting Ryan Fitzpatrick, which I actually don't hate, but I don't love it. Isaiah Crowell, I don't expect to do great against Detroit, just because they don't really use Crowell that much anymore in Cleveland. I do like Dougie, 9.5. I was really hoping he was going to score the touchdown on that play that he had. That was just fantastic. Like I said, go watch it. Everything that I said about Marvin Jones, I say the same about Golden Tate. Don't love Demaryius Thomas against New England. Jimmy Graham obviously did fantastic. It was really just, it was 2 touchdowns and 27 yards. Jimmy Graham doesn't get much of the plays as they march to the end zone. But as soon as they get to the end zone, they love Jimmy Graham. The Texans against the LA Rams, I really don't like that. And Suck Up, I actually think will have a nice game. On the bench, I agree. I actually like Duke Johnson a little better against Detroit than I do Isaiah Crowell. Because the dink and dunk to the running backs is really good against Detroit. I agree. So Duke Johnson, really the only one that I would definitely switch out. But because there are more hates, I am going to call this one in favor of Christian. You are welcome, Christian. Now, boom. Here we go. Last matchup. Danny and Brad. All right. Let's see. Danny is currently projected at 86. Brad, 84.6. Ooh, this is close. Let's see how I like the matchups. Okay. Russell Wilson, 19.4 points against Arizona. Nice showing from him. Joe Mixon, I like that again. I like him against Tennessee. Don't love Brandon Cooks against Denver, but I don't hate it either. I think that with Tom Brady throwing and Denver really struggling in the secondary last week against the Eagles, I actually really like this Brandon Cooks. I do love Juju Smith-Schuster. He did fantastic things the last couple weeks that he played. I like him against Indy. Michael Thomas, watch him, Danny. He's with that questionable. He might not play. But if he does, I do like it against Buffalo. I don't love it, though, because I expect New Orleans to get up and then switch to leaning on Kamara. I really like Christian McCaffrey. Love that. On the bench, injured reserve, bye. Bad matchup, bad quarterback. Bad matchup, bye. Yep. So then we go over to Brad. I love Cam Newton against Miami. I like Mark Ingram against Buffalo. Like I said, I think they get up. Adrian Peterson against the Seahawks was not a love, and it showed that way. You were just hoping that Adrian Peterson found the end zone, and that just didn't happen. I do like Hopkins against the Rams. I do like Shepard against San Francisco. Don't love it, though. I actually like Orleans Darkwa for the Giants against San Francisco because I think the Giants have the possibility of getting up, and San Francisco is a very, very generous run defense. Lamar Miller, I think, will struggle a little bit there. The Lions against Cleveland, I love that. Chris Boswell against Indy, I do love that. On the bench, injured reserve by I really like Orleans Darkwa against San Francisco. I can't stress that enough. So, Brad, I would look at that. I like Orleans Darkwa against San Francisco better than Lamar Miller. That I'm just going to call it. Just going to call that. So, for this one, let's see. This one's a tough one. There's just more to love on one side of this one, and that side is Danny's side. I'm calling this one in favor of Danny, guys. There it is. Calling that one in favor of Danny. And that leaves us with that. So we're going to go like that. Remove the display capture. And I'm going to make myself nice and big again. Hi, hello. How you doing? Because that winds it up for us here on this little broadcast here. Tried to keep it a little shorter than I usually do. I think that didn't end up working. I think I ended up doing my usual hour. But there it is. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I look forward to doing this again next week. Have fun. Make sure that you change your lineups as needed. Everyone except Bischoff. Bischoff, you have no need to change your lineup. You're fine. You're fine, Bischoff. Don't worry about it. You're fine. All right. With that, I bid you all adieu. Have a good one.